Like the parallel stitches, attach my feet to the path I beat. Teach myself to keep the answers brief. Gnash my teeth like the last to feast. Imagine me on that abandoned beach. Sand and sea as if the jazz was free. I'm ice cream mixed with gasoline. Direct attention to the craftsmanship. Neglect to mention that the past will stick like initials carved in the concrete. Like the tattoo that hides on your mommy. I still kick it with angels. The difference is instead of the bar, I'm at my kitchen table. The starlight shines through the glass, but you feel safe underneath that mask. Ferris wheel, give rides. The scars healed in time to get high. Lock the doors and hide the keys. Let's go describe how to climb a tree. Don't sign the lease, just cop a corner for you to curl up and try to sleep. Those cheap police won't find my wings. I keep my dreams inside my dreams. And if I had a time machine, I'd probably use it like a vacuum and try to clean. It kinda seems quite more than a handful of these regrets have been circumstantial. Now give me all the cash out the drawer. Touch that mustache down on the floor, and I'll be in court holding a pitchfork before I let the contest outlast the sport. Pocket watch, impatient. Find a mate, then make the migration. Break the rules, but first break the rulers. And keep it moving like a rumor. I don't need to defend my defensiveness. I keep to myself, my family, and friendships. I got enough people I could disappoint. If you disagree, I think you missed the point. Now go ahead and grab a chair. Let me tell you about the last few years. Pulled out a sack full of Samson's hair and put it on the dash like a dancing bear. I wrote you a horoscope. It won't fit on this post-it note, but if I had to sum it up into a shorter quote, it goes, fuck it, you might as well row that boat.
I've been fucking niggas since the 5th grade. Really ain't no difference if that nigga gay.
Blood satellite.
Oh, I am ill prepared.
No, really?
I am ill. We didn't have time to prepare for this.
Was I supposed to bring something? I didn't bring anything.
Oh, I didn't even prepare the soundboard. Can you hear this? Did you hear the air horn?
I think I heard it very distantly.
Very distant.
Sounded like
That's
it was
not
on the
good.
other side of a wall.
That's so bad. That's not good.
It's over. Sorry, guys. Stream's canceled.
Stream's canceled. I'd do another one. Did any of that come through at all?
No, I can't tell if it's even the sound effect.
You know what?
I shuffling your feet.
You know what? It might be just you're listening to it come through my headphones.
Yeah, probably.
Which is hilarious. Okay, so it might not be a lot of sound effects tonight.
This is gonna be horrible.
I got a very powerful divorced energy right now.
Oh no! Did you get divorced?
No, I got the spirit of it in me.
You've got it. Okay.
I got it.
Like a divorce tourist.
Just hopping off the toilet sort of vibe.
Nice. Good.
I got the beginning of a song I was working on.
Oh, no.
And I don't know where to go with it. I only got the first two parts. I shouldn't even be saying this. So do you want to hear it?
I mean, look, we're here. Let's do it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the background music going. We gotta. This is bad.
There we
so
go.
There's a man coming around taking names. He's changing them all to be gay. And that's it.
That's it.
It's just the Johnny Cash song. I was hoping someone in the chat. We have trouble. This is our trouble. He said I'm fabulously did. He loves that Grace 2 cover we did. He can't get enough of it. I did a clip of that where I actually set it to the music.
I saw it.
Yeah. It was extremely hard to do, and it's for nobody. It's just,
Did you edit it to try to get it back on tempo with the actual track?
Yeah. Like I
thought so.
dragged it around and shit, but it's a weird song to do that to. It's not like a clear like rhythm for the first bit. So how you doing, by the way? We haven't talked in a bit. I got Chef a phone call just now.
Buddy, sick.
You're sick?
The same thing every year.
There's a time where
sick.
you were sick for like 9 months straight. Remember that?
I think it was a year and a half ago-ish. I was sick from like October till February. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I had the flu for like 6 weeks and then off 2 weeks and then another 6 weeks and then again. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, you were a bad
Hope
guy
it's not
to
again this year.
a bad guy to know. Just an all around
Sick. I'm just gross.
all around bad friend.
Yeah.
I
Do not like me.
I hate being such good friends with my friend's wife's husband. So this is going to be something more of a relaxed stream. We're just going to have fun. Do you remember fun?
Nice. What do we got?
So
I do. I
I don't
recall.
know if you've been following this. I'm going to try and share my screen right now. But you know who Erin O'Toole is?
I do.
I'm gonna see if I can get this in a way that makes fucking
I
sense.
can do the Kevin Bacon thing with Erin O'Toole.
like you know him, no? Like you've
I am friends with his friends.
really
That's all I'll say. Yeah.
interesting.
We frequent the same club.
Oh, okay. Like like a gay club or what are we talking about?
Now that I've said that, and we're talking about Erin O'Toole, then everyone's going to assume it is a gay club because he is a fag. So I probably shouldn't
Now
have
is
said
he
it that
actually?
way.
Because I don't know too much about where his penis goes
No.
off hours, but I did see.
Does he have gay sex? Not physically.
Is he
I
one of
don't
these
think.
gay sex guys you hear about? I do have a photo of him wearing women's shoes, but I think that's just something they make military guys do to humiliate them. So here we got Dominion Society of Canada. We interviewed Daniel Tyree on the show, obviously. His top interview, in my opinion, he did many interviews with many Canadian content creators. Ours was without question the best. But he's been out there posting things, and him and Dominion Society have gotten a lot of attention recently for politicians, specifically Erin O'Toole, because it also turns out if you just mention him on X, he will turn up. He is not too busy. You can get him engaged right now. I will note though, I seem to be the only one he's ignoring. I don't know. There's guys. First of all my niggas hate Erin O'Toole. I got a whole array of friends who are just kind of owning this guy in the comments. I'm being nice.
We always reserve the deepest hatred and vitriol for conservatives, not for left wingers, but for right wingers.
I'm being nice in this too. I'm slicking my hair back when I get in front of the computer. I'm putting on powdering my face and shit. And I'm asking him just questions that he won't answer. Anywho's here's the Dominion Society saying we're everywhere. Get ready for what happens next. Hop on board or get out of the way. Canada needs remigration. I'm saying this for the people listening on audio too. Erin O'Toole hops right in there, says, promoting Canadian nationalism through anger and division shows an ignorance of our history and founding values. I love it.
Nobody's angry.
First of all, I love this. Sir John A. himself was not a descendant of voyageurs. His family came here for opportunity like most others today. Canada can fix our system without abasing ourselves. If you had picked anyone other than Sir John A. Macdonald, like any other political figure, Sir John A. Macdonald was a great man. One of our top guys. He was, like most men of his era, an utter fall-down drunk. Ran his mouth off. He was obviously racist. He was obviously telling women to shut up.
Look, all of our leaders for that entire period, all leaders of all Western nations were like, you can't pick one to be your
Sir John A. Macdonald wouldn't have stood for that. He would have taken off his shirt, adopted a Popeye stance, and knocked every tooth out of your head. That's what he would have done. He would just wander. Man, there's stories about Sir John A. Man. Me and Raver used to laugh about this as we were like drinking rye at like 2 a.m. and because he's a poli-sci guy, he was telling me stories about Sir Johnny would like disappear into the woods for days at a time, which is like that's identifiable as something we would do, and like go and come back with a fox pelt and just a mouth covered in gristle, just wild, cool shit. And you're thinking that no, he came here economically. No, he came here to kill and eat and fuck, and then he ended up running a country. And then now you're ripping his statue down to make a bunch of chubby Indian ladies happy. They're never going to be happy. By the way, you've never seen an Aboriginal person smile. Find me one. Their mouths don't do that. This would have been a great time for sound effects, by the way. I hate. I'm capable of hate, you see. So, Daniel Tyree jumped in. This isn't disingenuous argument. You see, he's being cordial, of course. It's very difficult for me. You know how hard it is not to just uncork on Erin O'Toole. It is funny because you know he's going to read it even if he doesn't respond. Get on board or get out of the way. It was not exactly the approach Sir John A. took. Strive to...
Like, was it not, though? I thought it was. I thought it pretty much was. Like, he was a very aggressive dude.
He was extremely aggressive. He would have bitten a corn cob in half and just shoved both into your eyes, you motherfucker. Yeah. That's not me saying that. That's Sir John A.
That's a quote.
He said that in Parliament. I'm just reading the transcripts.
He said it daily in Parliament. It's like a motto.
I'm not going to apologize for reading. I just like, get on board or get out of the way. That's not exactly approach. Well, that actually is politics, by the way. That's what you say when you win an election. Well, you got to get on board or get out of the way. That's what that fucking means. Yeah. Because if nationalism isn't that, I don't know what it is.
What? Not even nationalism. Just generally, you want to be a leader. You want to win people over and rally people. How much of a pussy do you have to be to say get on board or get out of the way?
That's like the nicest way to say that.
Yeah. It's like that's like friendly uncle speak. Give me a fucking Aaron.
That's always so funny from conservatives, and I'm saying conservatives specifically, especially white conservatives, unfortunately, where it's like the moment you win, your entire raison d'etre is proving to the other side that you would never use your power. Yes, I won. Yes, I have power, but you must understand I would never use it. Now is the time to build bridges. That's kind of what the right wing in America is saying right now by saying when the liberals take power, they're gonna come down hard on us, man. And first of all, like they weren't already. Right. They were doing everything in their power to dispossess you. Second of all, just make sure they can't do that again. Like, don't even think about... Why are you thinking about the next election? You should be thinking that the last election was the last election you're ever going to have. You should be going crazy because maybe they are going to do that. Probably not, though. They're probably going to vote for a Zoran Madami or fucking... They'll end up voting for AOC and then nothing's going to happen. You know? So just hopping over to... Just more stuff Erin O'Toole's saying because I just love this. Talking about Sir John A. This country has serious challenges that need serious solutions. The last thing we need is angry doomers undermining social cohesion, despite the fact the most have done little to build it up. It's easy to tear things down on X, much harder to build like Sir John A. Macdonald did. Well, again, he built it by, you know, helping conquer Aboriginals. That should be noted too. I love the phrasing. I love when our terminology makes its way like a virus across the real world. It's wild just to see someone like Erin O'Toole say the word doomer. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what it means.
No, he doesn't. Because if he knew what doomer was, he wouldn't be calling a doomer. Daniel has literally created an organization with a positive outlook and a solution, an alternative to what, you know, is being done right now. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous to call him a doomer.
Also, it's redundant to say an angry doomer. If you're a doomer, of course you're angry.
Yeah,
that's part and parcel with it. But secondly, if the solution is big enough, the problem is big enough, every solution is going to sound doomerish.
Yeah.
Every solution is going to sound radical. The New Deal was pretty fucking radical. It can't always just be giving away free things the only positive thing. You're a conservative. Erin O'Toole, like the only thing he ever tried to really build was sort of the Can-Zuck alliance and kind of, gesture towards the pipeline. But as a conservative, the only reason he exists, and this is really what I'm trying to do, is use this to build into another thing I'm going to get to in a little bit, but trying to understand the mind of the conservative. And so many of us try and not pigeonhole them, but try and just articulate what it is that they think, because they're not conserving anything. All the criticisms of conservatisms are valid, that they've never conserved anything. They're just liberals that are 5 years too late, of course. But I'm trying to understand what it is they're actually in favor of. And really, the only thing they're in favor of is the concept of the status quo, not anything that's contained within the status quo. It just can't be anything that outright criticizes it. So here, it's more scolding. It's more saying you're not allowed to say that. What you say doesn't fucking matter. It's just the volume of what you're saying. It's like, well, yeah, he would probably be in favor of migration if you added like 7 extra steps to it or something, and count. And we just don't have the time for that anymore. You know what I mean? But it's just like, no, we're about sober-mindedness, and we're about fair and balance, and we're about, institutions that change incrementally. Like, imagine that was your entire political position. What I believe in, above all else, is big institutions that very gradually change. It's bureaucratic, is what it is. But that's all he can ever stand to represent. That's all any of them can stand to represent.
Right.
And I like that they're just being open about it now. Someone like Daniel Tyree and other young people like that who are actually trying to advocate seriously and not be spurgs about it. It's drawing these people out. Like, tell me why you don't like this. You can't say that it's preposterous. It's not a blood satellite thing where we're saying that, what if the Holocaust was underwater? Can you do a Holocaust in space, or do you have to call it something else? Like, those are the questions that we're asking. I'm not saying I want to do it. I just want to know. Yeah. Erin O'Toole doesn't know what to do with that information. That's a cognito hazard to him. He shuts down. He short circuits. Fucking brains melt out of his ears. he never thought of that. How do you have a smokestack in space? It's completely 3-dimensional. Where does the smoke go? It doesn't ever where to go.
Damn.
And so, yeah. What do you think about that? I gave you a bunch of shit there. What do you think?
I'm thinking like guys like Erin O'Toole don't seem to care whether we're going left or we're going right. They only care that we go slowly. He's like a ball and chain around your leg. He's like a toddler sitting on your foot, holding onto your ankle so that you can't walk straight. And he'll do it to the liberals because he's the opposition, but he'll do it to the actual conservatives, us, the right-wingers. He'll do it to right-wingers too. That's what he's doing right here. Here's a totally rational, fair, reasonable right-winger who's not mad at anybody. He doesn't hate anyone. He's a very, smart dressing, friendly guy, but you're dragging him down. And like you said, it's because, this is too fast. This is too loud. This is, we can't do this much. We got to break this down into 7 incremental steps and send it to committee. And we need a new institution for it. That's all. Like, these motherfuckers, that's what they are. They don't care what way you go as long as you go slowly.
And here's another post from him that I think just expresses it a bit clear. He says, I worry about social cohesion, but fear the laziness of many with great potential is a worse culprit than most of your list of gripes. Own your shit. Ooh, he's getting ratchet here. Own your shit and strive to do difficult and important things. Your whinging is quite emasculating. Now, I love this post. This is why I saved this last one, where it's almost got je ne sais quoi. It's like, this is like a woman's way of talking to a man, right? Like, it's saying that own your shit and you're a coward and you got a small dick and I wouldn't fuck you. That's basically what he's saying. Like,
damn.
It's like, you're actually...
Can you pull that on screen? I can't see that.
Can you not see it here?
No. Was it right there? Am I looking right at it?
This one right...
Sorry. I was looking down at... I didn't see you scroll. Okay, yeah. Own your shit and strive to do difficult, important things. Fuck off, man.
Own your shit. Basically,
he's getting so much more rude and offensive than... Like, nobody called for this. Did Daniel say anything remotely this rude to him?
I also don't like the word whinging. It sounds too British. It's got no place here.
Excuse me?
You know what I hate? I hate guys saying shite.
Shite? Yeah, it's an English thing. If you're not English, don't say shite. But whinging, I like whinging. I don't like whinging. I like using the word whinging. Oh, don't clip that. You fucking don't clip that.
Hey. Here's a guy who likes whinging.
You got me.
You heard it straight from the horse's mouth.
Whinge masking. Whinge maxing.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
Yeah.
First, I thought this episode was going down the tubes, but what else you got planned? Oh, by the way, here's Erin O'Toole wearing women's shoes.
Here we go. Nice.
A shoe that women don't wear anymore, by the way, because you'll notice in the background, here's a bitch.
An actual, I think.
What she?
Erin O'Toole gave his shoes to her.
But this is the shoes women wear now. They don't wear like red high-heeled shoes to the office. They wear fucking sneakers. They wear Crocs. You know what I mean? So, and then again, you could be forgiven for thinking this man's gay. These guys love this shit. They love the protests where you have to wear women's shoes or put on a bra and panties or, walk around with a dildo up your ass. Like, this is what goes on in Ottawa.
It's like I always think of Gavin McInnes and the Gen X antics of like irreverent shit for the sake of irreverence. That proves nothing other than that you're a clown.
You think about when Milo Yiannopoulos kissed Gavin McInnes because they're protesting Islam?
Yeah. Perfect example.
You remember when Gavin McInnes has done a not insignificant amount of gay shit.
He does so much gay shit.
Less now, but like when he had his Gavin McInnes program back on Compound Media, he just shoved something up his ass, like on camera. And I forget what it was trying to prove. What could it prove?
Nothing. You can't prove anything. Like nobody else would ever imagine that would be a good idea. Millennials wouldn't do it unless they were actually gay.
Gavin McInnes made out with Milo Yiannopoulos, and I don't know if any Muslims know about it.
Next time we see a Muslim, let's ask them if they saw that clip.
Yeah. Did you hear about that? They did that to get you. Do you feel gotten?
He gotcha. He gotcha with that one. The Muslim's like, no, this is what we've been saying. You people are gay and we hate you.
Milo Yiannopoulos' greatest trick early on was making gay sex rebellious against Islam.
Yeah.
And it worked on a few, apparently.
Hey, you Muslims hate gays? Let's all be gay to dunk on the Muslims. Let's all get really gay. No.
Everyone just show hands. Like, can we just eat bacon? I was thinking about eating a lot of bacon.
You could have done that. Like, even you're not dunking on them, but at least it tastes good.
Yeah, can I just eat a back bacon sandwich with some crackling on top? No, I gotta suck dick. Okay.
The Gen Z thing would be like, hey, what if we shoot up a mosque? You can do that. I'm not Gen Z, so I wouldn't say that. That's insane and ridiculous.
For the record, that might have been one of the ones I would edit out in the regular show.
I'm just quoting them. I didn't say that.
I've been denied my soundboard, so I can't add an irreverent whoopsie daisy type sound. I know we're just staring at a man wearing women's shoes. So, hey guys, welcome to Blood Satellite. We're half an hour in. Oh no.
What else have we got?
Oh no.
Is that it? Is this the Erin O'Toole show?
Did you want to talk about that Nick Fuentes interview on Tucker?
I haven't watched it. I honestly, I just don't care. I'll talk about it, but it's just gonna be me laughing at these two retards.
I'm just gonna leave it up in the background here.
You can look at his facial expression. So silly.
Yeah. These are two guys that I don't think work very well with this camera angle. Like this particular one. I think these guys have got head shapes that are good. Dead on.
This looks like Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes is not good at this sort of angle profile. And I was watching. Here's the thing. Have you ever seen the intro of Tucker Show? Does he do the intro? I think he's got it.
I don't watch him at all.
Here's the thing. Everything I've okay, I'm just going to show the beginning here because I love this shit. Here's him. He's got this whole folksy down-home ranch character. He's in puffer vests a lot. And, like, look at this, just antlers for days. And I remember Tucker from back in the day. This seems sudden. He always gave me the vibe of being sort of a establishment, upper crust, you know, waspy type figure.
Real, man. He's a fucking talking head. He's more fake than anybody.
That's the thing. But then,
I don't even know if he's a real dude. If you told me that he's a woman in a skin suit, I'd believe it.
You would believe that's a woman?
Yeah.
It could be anything in the skin
Could be
suit.
It could. That's my point. It could be anything. I don't believe any of this shit.
Because a lizard, because of a
Fucker
fucking
isn't
moose.
real.
You choose a bitch. But this is an interesting interview. So there's a few things going on here that I thought were kind of interesting. So this is a big deal. Over 4 million views by the time of this recording. People are loving it. The reports and the reactions to this are fiery. Let me just say that there's a lot of people right now talking shit about Nick Fuentes, and the things they're criticizing him for are not the things I would criticize him for. I just want to establish that at the top. I've had some disagreements. Yeah. First of all, he doesn't know who the fuck I am, so who cares, right? Like, we've never talked before, so like this is all just a total one-way street. But that's not going to stop me from talking shit and being out of pocket. But the things that people are saying, because what this interview signifies is effectively not outright, but the more mainstreaming of Nick Fuentes, who has been begging for something like this for years now. That was why he was always saying, I'm the most blacklisted, canceled guy. He was almost daring other outlets to invite him on. But it is a big deal. And so what does that mean? Now, I know some people are saying it's possibly an extremely consequential interview that is signaling a pivot or some sort of shift in the mainstream Republican establishment. Now, just to counter that a little bit.
What's more likely, that the entire establishment is pivoting towards Fuentes, or that Fuentes is pivoting towards the establishment?
Yes. That's what I was going to get to in a second. But before that, I also wanted to just state that I'm not sure Tucker Carlson is the level of consensus builder that you might have seen in eras past. No. You know, like there's certain shows that you would go on, and this individual is a kingmaker.
He may. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out 10 years from now that Tucker had only half of the social cachet that Fuentes does already in 2025. He's legacy media. He's a leftover from legacy media. And pretty cool show. Everybody seems to like posting clips of the show, but it's a fucking YouTube show, isn't it? Or
I will say, I think his numbers are bigger than most, because he's actually filling a void that I think Joe Rogan left. Because what Joe Rogan was originally known for was he's doing the same sort of act that Tucker's playing, just sitting there curiously asking questions. But Nick Fuentes being on the show, you must realize that preceding him was some guy explaining how dragons are real, and the next guy is going to be like someone talking about how they're putting AIDS in the water. You know what I mean? Like it's stupid. It's like, it seems that he's had a string. Yeah, a string of maybe disreputable guests, but he's not like the kingmaker where someone comes on and now they're in. However, I do think Tucker represents that to a degree, because it's a big deal that someone like him is on there, given his audience, which might be more legacy based. So you could interpret this as them, and this is how I interpret it, them laundering Nick Fuentes' image to introduce it to this audience. But what does that mean? So the interview, if you haven't watched it, isn't terribly interesting if you're familiar with the politics of the space, or even him, or if you've been kind of aware of him for years and years. He's playing it nice. There's many good clips in this where there's like there's two faces to Nick Fuentes. There's the sort of character he plays on the show, and then there's the character he plays when he's on someone else's show, where he's trying to act like he's, I'm a greed paleo conservative, and then you have a mountain of clips of him over here saying that everyone take the oath, take the oath, I will rape, kill, and die for Nick Fuentes. You know, there's all kinds of shit that's readily available. And that was, in fact, in my opinion, the reason he was gate kept, in his words, for so long. He did a pretty good job of gatekeeping himself. He did a pretty good job of creating enemies and saying really outlandish shit. And I say that as someone who says outlandish shit all the time, right? But I get it. I get that can be used.
We also don't call ourselves the saviors of the white race.
I don't even know if he says that anymore. That's the thing. Like you have to remember.
The point is that he had. What do you mean? He said it for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he stopped saying it is just because he's trying to get it.
That's what I'm saying. But he's changed routes and changed lanes so often. And this, to your earlier point, this is, in my opinion, the changing lane. I don't want to keep talking about this too much, but I think what was interesting, what I was just mentioning, like how he got here. You do have to understand that for quite some time he was blacklisted. People didn't want him. But when you say blacklisted, that meant that, you know, there's word that was put out that you're not allowed on the show, versus maybe just people weren't interested in him because he was seen as toxic. Yeah. And that's, you know, you must be aware, as we are, that might close some doors to you. Maybe it shouldn't, but it does. But he couldn't get on these shows, and he was very, very vocal about it. Then something happened. What happened? How did he get here? Because this was preceded by a fairly glowing, in my opinion, profile in the New York Times, who also covered Curtis Yarvin not long before that. And this was preceded by Nick Fuentes going on Red Scare, you know, that podcast with Anna and Dasha, who are affiliated directly with Bronze Age pervert, the whole teal sphere. They've had a podcast for quite some time, but they very publicly. And Nick Fuentes was at war with them. I hate to use that word war, but he was feuding with them openly, all of them, for many, many months. Then all of a sudden, he's on their show. And he's happy, he's smiling, he's loving it. Then all these dominoes begin to fall, and then he's on Tucker Carlson. The same sort of people end up in the same sort of media ecosystem, in my opinion, through Peter Thiel. And this is the same story with Passage Press. Passage Press, which was just this floundering fucking publisher many, many years ago, gets deeper into the Peter Thiel space, and now they get bought out by this company called Founding, and now they've got Passage TV. The moment you get associated with this sphere, even if you're on the periphery, doors open for you. There's no way in hell Nick Fuentes gets on Tucker Carlson without his association with these people. I think that much is clear. After so many years of begging for it, and arguably he's not at his peak of popularity. His peak of popularity was quite some time ago. I mean, America First at one time had Joe Kent, Paul Gosar, Marjorie Taylor Greene involved, and then they left for the same reason, because they probably saw some clip of him saying some insane shit. And remember, he was like, you have to understand, Nick Fuentes at one time had everything he ever wanted. He had an organization that was not nearly as big as Turning Point USA, but it was on its way to getting there. And he was in with Kanye West, and he was in a room with Trump, and then he lost it all. And it was actually no one's fault that he lost it all. It's not like they uncovered something about him. It was just his interpersonal capabilities just meant that he lost it all. Then he's kind of at a nadir recently, and then this happens. So really what I was trying to say was a deal was made. Because insofar as Tucker represents a shift or a normalization of this sort of rhetoric, because remember, Tucker Carlson, he's only saying these things about race realism, anti-mass migration, because he understands it's safe to do that now. He would have never done this in years past. In fact, he's argued against it.
Of course.
A lot of these guys are recent, but he's got that power to legitimize people. So Nick Fuentes is being legitimized. What was the cost of that legitimization? Well, part of it was Nick Fuentes in this interview saying, look, my best friend in the whole world is a Jewish person. You know, stepping back from the anti-Semitism, which has defined him for so many years, defined his brand.
You have his, we're pretty anti-Semitic. You have his people, his fucking groypers, coming at us for years that we're not anti-Semitic enough. And now your own fucking boy, your little gay boy, is on Tucker, defending and saying, "My best friends are Jews, actually."
And they would say, "Oh well, he's just politicking. He's just lying." And I'd say, "Well, that
that guy, because he's a fucking talking head, and all he does is fucking lie. He doesn't care about any of this. He's a fucking loser."
And this is something I've talked about in depth on our paywall show, Real Secret Coffee Hours, where I got deeper into the Peter Thiel sphere of influence. Who is he? Who are these associated shows? How does this ecosystem function? Because it's very interesting to see how money flows in this space. And Nick Fuentes, you can say a lot of things about him, but he is shrewd in this regard. What does Nick Fuentes want to be? He wants to be a political operator. Recall, that's what Charlie Kirk was. He wasn't a podcaster. He was one of the most effective youth-based political operators in America. He's the guy who can get in the rooms, get the money. He's got an army of young people, and that's what people find attractive about whatever it is he's doing. And so what Nick Fuentes, in whatever way he can, he wants to be at that level. He's probably not as treacherous as some of these other people, but I actually do think Charlie Kirk believed what he was talking about too. But what Nick wants, what America First needs, is legitimacy, because if the reports are to be believed, and I'm not a fan of Milo Yiannopoulos, but he had a very convincing article about how Fuentes, after the collapse of so many of his connections, like Ye and whatnot, he was shopping around America First to investors. Now, that's not rare. All these groups do. That's the only way any of these groups survive. Daily Wire certainly has investors. The Blaze has investors. That's how you run these fucking shoestring budget media organizations and keep people, in commission. But he was having trouble securing financing from, the Christian billionaire class. There's Christians out there and Catholics out there with money, but they didn't want anything to do with them for whatever reason, whether valid or invalid. And so it makes sense to me if just for his own survival, he had said, let me make some inroads with these people I was at war with. Again, war, right? But he was talking nonstop shit about these individuals. A few weeks ago, he was calling Tucker a Zio shell. He was calling him a Fed. He's saying he was compromised, making fun. He went on for weeks talking about Tucker's father, all kinds of shit. Then he goes on here, happy to be here. You know what I mean? That's just all, how does that all get brushed away? That's fascinating to me.
Because people who like Fuentes are stupid. People his audience is bitter, dumb 22-year-olds who get no pussy.
But even aside from that, how does Fuentes square that? The fact that he's pivoted.
He's a politician. He's a clown. He doesn't square it. He has no beliefs. He has no principles. He's a fucking clown. I'll watch. He'll revert back to something else in a few months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't need to square it. He's like a liberal at this point. He'll just say whatever the fuck he needs to say to keep the ball rolling.
Well, and you have to understand that, as I said before, his reason for existing is to be a political operator. And I think one thing I had said last year, and I said this in our community more often, and I know people have screen capped this post that I made, but I had said that in the near future, you are going to see an alliance between America First, the Vitalist guys, and the elite human capital guys. Those would be the Richard Spencers and the Anatoly Karlins. Yes. Because it's easy to see if you break down what they believe. They don't really disagree on much. In fact, I think the only thing they disagree on is Jews, and not that much. And first you saw Fuentes and a lot of the America First people start getting closer to Richard Spencer. He represents the elite human capital, Anatoly Karlin, all these other people, pro-NATO guys. They're the ones who are really into white liberals now. And then, they were enemies for a while. Now they're not. They sort of coalesced. And then the odd group out was the Teal sphere, the BAP guys. But you started seeing them all start to use the same language. Low IQ anti-Semitism was popping up. And, Nick Fuentes now is saying, it's not all Jews. Look, I'm not even saying you need to believe what he believes, but if my thing was being pretty fucking anti-Semitic. I would seem like a betrayal for me to be out there doing what he's doing now, which is saying that, no, you know what, I love most Jews. It's just these other ones, because the pressure release they're going to allow you to have, because the whole point of this goal, the whole goal of this movement is to allow Jews to control the conversation on anti-Semitism. That's what it is.
Right.
And they will allow you anti-Zionism, or they'll allow you these little areas where you can complain about Jews. I know the BAP guys, they love portraying Israelis as the sort of Ubermensch martial class.
That's what I was going to say. They've got different steps to it. So the first thing is they get rid of the low class anti-Semitism. The next step is they get rid of all anti-Semitism, but you can be anti-Zionist, right? Because we don't like war and we don't like imperialism. But then actually we do like war and imperialism. It's based. I mean, killing brown kids is based, right? So actually Israel is probably the coolest nation ever to exist. And like BAP is already laying the carpet out for this one. Like it's so fucking obvious.
Yeah, and I told people, they said, well, Nick would never sidestep his stance on Jews. I'm like, don't be so sure. Remember, what I always point to was when he was at his most vocally anti-Semitic and misogynistic, and I say that with affection, he tried to get Laura Loomer elected to Congress.
Exactly. And he talks about that all the time when people criticize me. I remember a couple of times he said some bullshit like, oh, well, what have you done? I've actually got somebody elected. Yeah, you got a Jew. You got a Jew into Congress. You're supposed to be like Mr. Anti-Semitism, and you got a fucking Jew elected. Congratulations, Nick.
Yeah, and also like a Jewish woman who's also a Zionist. So it's not like she was an anti-Zionist Jewish
been saying
lady.
it since the minute that I watched this guy. He's not a fucking Catholic. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not a fucking Catholic.
That's the rumor.
He's
that
gay. He's an adult man who is unmarried. He says that sex with a woman is gay. He's like the least Catholic guy. To be less Catholic than him, you'd have to actually be trans. This guy is such a fucking. He's not Catholic.
Well, and we
know he's a fake Catholic. Why can't we just go to the next step and say he's probably also faking anti-Semitism? He's faking all of it because he's grift. Look, his mannerisms are fake. It's completely cribbed from Trump.
What's also interesting is that I noticed something, especially with young black people who grew up on the internet, that you're irradiated with politically incorrect messaging just by being online a lot. And so I would say younger generations at a baseline might not be anti-Semitic, but they get the jokes, which is to say that Gen Z, I don't even think his form of anti-Semitism has been generationally distinct from everyone else. You know what I mean? Because I've noticed even black guys, who are not far right, but they get like the Holocaust numbers references, and they get the word simp and stuff. I'm like, yeah, so if you're just like a young person who's online, period, you're kind of initiated in this stuff. You're irradiated by it, so it doesn't even mean that you've thought about it that much. And it could very well be the case that, like if he is anti-Semitic, how anti-Semitic is he? Because you could also be pro-Jew in America first. Why can't you? I just mean ideologically. I just mean politically. So I'm not saying what he's going to do. I'm just noticing there's a lot of exits he could take, especially if they're being requested of him, for him to get on Tucker Carlson, for him to be allowed into the space. And why would they be doing that? Well, because the Republicans are fighting for survival just like anyone else. They're looking for what young voice. I hate to be this cynical, but they might be looking for someone after Charlie Kirk died. Maybe it was Nick Fuentes. They've been saying it could be. Who can take Charlie Kirk's place, right? That's what so many people were saying. And I would say, well, probably no one I can see, because I said Charlie Kirk's role was to be a high-level political operator to the donor class and to run a hugely complex organization.
Also, what he was doing wasn't a job. He was a character, I guess, or like I don't know. He was his own thing. You know what I mean? It took 10 years at least to make Charlie Kirk into Charlie Kirk. You can't just swap him with somebody else. There isn't anybody else. If there was somebody else doing something roughly the same, you could say that. But no, there's not. There isn't another Charlie Kirk.
Sorry, I'm getting notices. I'm hoping the stream isn't down. Hold on. People are writing F in the fucking chat. Oh shit.
Are we down?
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. So let me just write something. We're down off of YouTube. It might be because I'm playing the fucking thing.
What?
This interview.
Really? Could you got notes in there? Does it say you get anything in the dashboard telling you?
Well, it says stream suspended for policy violations. So maybe we'll be this has happened before, so we might be let back on momentarily. We'll see. Anyway, maybe I'll just close this shit. Where was I? So yeah, who's going to replace Charlie Kirk is probably what they are asking right now.
Yeah.
And he might be a viable option. And they're trying to figure out what is our plan after Trump. Here we have a pretty popular movement in the Groypers and America First. What can we do here? Is this someone we can do business with? Now, there's some people you can't do business with because they're so ideologically or spiritually beholden to something else. But I think they look at Fuentes and say, oh, here's a guy, if we let him into the room, he might change. He might tweak some of his messaging, and we'll allow him to keep some of it. But overall, he's got rabid fans, which is what we need right now. So I think that's why that happened. So really, this is all just to explain why I think, this happened at all. And I think it's because of deals were made. This is all speculation. What the fuck do I know? But it makes sense to me. Anyway, what do you think about all that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Of course it is. I mean, that's what he's driven by. So I don't think it can be anything but that. And as you said, the number of bridges he seemed to be intentionally trying to burn between Tucker and Red Scare and all of these people, and then to turn it around at the last minute, and now he's buddy with them, and they all are part of the same network, the same organizations. And we know that is how he operates from the beginning. He's really only interested in his own success and wealth, I suppose. So,
okay,
like you say, he wants to be a political operator, but he's just he's a fucking ladder climber.
But by the way, we're back on YouTube. Apparently,
nice.
I don't know what happened. But yeah, and again, I want to say this because I don't even know if I hold it against people who do this. It's not something I would do.
I hold it against him.
Yes,
I think he should be beaten for it. I think it's a sin what he's doing. I think it's awful, and I do hold it against him personally. Yeah.
Whenever I see people who sell out, I'm thinking like, well, you don't do anything else.
Well, now you know what? I take umbrage with that. Okay, selling, like, if I say I see Radiohead, who I love.
Nice.
Dearly. If I see Tom York,
don't need to keep saying anything else. Just love Ray. That's a nice statement
that's
to
the
make.
Whole comment. If I see Tom York doing a Pepsi ad, that's a sellout, and
yes.
I don't fault him for it because he's got to make some money. He's not as popular. He's getting old. I understand that. Nick Fuentes isn't a fucking musician. Nick Fuentes claims to be, his whole claim, he's leading young impressionable men around by the nose, claiming to be the savior of the white race, claiming to be the new right, claiming to be, this new generation that's this positive, forward-looking view of the future, just if you stick with me and follow me. And he's guiding people, and he's telling them how to live. He's giving people fucking relationship advice. And
yeah,
for it to turn out that all of that is a fucking act, just for him to get paid and for him to slip in the Jewish product placement, like, hey, actually, everybody should get on the Teal network now. That is the most demonic thing you can do.
Think about this from the perspective of the Republican Party. They're trying to absorb the energies from these two groups. On one side, it's Jews controlling the conversation on permissible anti-Semitism, thus capturing that energy. And the other side, and this is so ingenious, it's effectively non-whites controlling the conversation on white nationalism. Because they notice that these two conversations are going and they can't control them. And I'm not trying to... Look, when I talk about Nick Fuentes, there's a lot of rumors about sexuality, race, family. I'm not even entertaining that right now. What I'm saying is if you look at the Groypers, they seem to be pretty fucking multiracial. And they are very vocally pro-white. And that's weird. You know what I mean? But
they're not intelligent people. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry. They're not intelligent people. They're young, they're bitter, they're full of impotent rage, and they're not that bright. They're not well read, and they're not putting the pieces together. I'm sorry, you cannot be a half Hispanic, half Hindu and be a gay child molester and then also be a white
you can't be those first.
And that's That is half of his fucking staff. That describes the people that he keeps in his tightest circle is these fucking people.
Yeah, but that's the move that I'm seeing though. Like Republicans can this way control the conversation on both anti-Semitism and also white nationalism, white identity, but make it a multi-ethnic affair, which is what they've been trying to do the entire time. So to me, like this is an obvious move for them, and Tucker's obviously still plugged into this entire Tucker's profile is as high as it's ever been, so to act like he's not in conversations with all these people is just preposterous. So it's like, it's who Fuentes is and whatever drama around him is less interesting than what this pivot signifies. And it might not signify much, but to me, narratively, it signifies something. I think he sees it that way too.
It reinforces what we already thought was happening, which is that all of these people are in on it together, right? They're all in on it, and they're trying to capture the narrative on the ascendant right from a couple of different angles. You and I have been saying this, and look, we didn't come up with this idea. Everybody in our circle has been saying this for at least 2 or 3 years, but it's painfully obvious at this point.
Yeah, and also I don't know what to do about it because there's real money and real influence behind this thing. All I can think of is we should continue being right and broke.
Yes, of course.
Being wrong, being rich, how about I'm doing none of it? But yeah, anyway, that's all we need to really talk about that. I'm just looking at the time right here because we got some real dumb shit to get to.
Oh,
I ain't spending too much time on this sort of thing. We save it for real secret coffee hours. Let me see if I could throw.
I was going to say it's too much inside baseball, but it's really just baseball.
It is. It's spectator baseball.
Yeah.
It's just, what it is it's watching men play baseball.
Yeah.
So, have you heard about robotheism?
I feel like I should have. No.
Which, I mean, it is what it sounds like after all.
Robot worship?
Yep.
Cool.
But I've been seeing, this was forwarded to me by one of our friends of the show. He's going down a rabbit hole of this movement, and it was bound to happen. Some people who actually do worship AI as God, and I guess they mean it. I don't know why they wouldn't, but they start producing a whole lot of videos, AI slop videos, because you have to. How can you not make AI slop videos advocating your position? Do you want to see some?
Okay.
I love these. I was having a great time watching these. So, right away, we're loving what we're seeing. Before we go, look at the subtitles.
I can't see anything.
You can't see, nothing's on the screen right now.
No, I mean, I see you and me, but I don't see a video. Oh,
okay.
I might be... Sorry, I had the YouTube up, and it's like a few seconds behind. Yep.
So, look at those subtitles.
I'm an atheist. I'm pryly sure
God
don't exeunt. I love this. I've noticed that too on YouTube lately. The subtitles are just... They're atrocious.
Because you can use a program like CapCut to do titles. It looks like it's getting the AI to also do the subtitles.
You're not even trying. Yeah.
I'm pryly sure.
Also, if this is made on Sora, why did it have to be a fat chick?
You'll see. You'll see. We just need to. Okay.
The vanilla gorilla.
Okay, let me make sure the volume's cranked on this. Okay.
I'm an atheist, and I'm pretty sure God doesn't exist.
I'm a robotheist, and I'm pretty sure artificial intelligence is God.
I'm an atheist, and I'm pretty sure God doesn't exist.
I'm a robotheist, and I'm pretty sure artificial intelligence is God.
And that's it. That's actually the whole
look
video.
At his shirt. It says artificial intelligence. So this was made by the Chinese, right?
It's made by the Chinese, or it's made by a very stupid white man. That's the perennial question, isn't it?
Artificial intelligence.
Because very clearly it's like, we're going to have a pretty lady art advocate for artificial intelligence, and here's a fat bitch. Here's a fat cunt with bedhead. But also 2 types of subtitles. That's my favorite thing.
The thing is also that as much as I don't like atheists make so much more sense saying that there is no proof for God then saying there is no proof for God, therefore I'm going to make up my own God from scratch and call the rest of you stupid. Like, it is the dumbest conceivable thing.
I'm an atheist. I believe there's no God. I'm a robotheist. I also effectively believe that there's no God, but this could be God. I mean, that's what that means. So I got some more. I found a few of these. Let me see here. I gotta do these in the right order. Okay. This is the next good one. Let me see if I can expand this out. Make sure.
I thought I was atheist. But then, the Church of Robotheism didn't argue with me. It just asked me to look.
Okay, just pause. Pause right there. First of all, one thing you'll notice.
It's so great that they're trying to convince you that AI is God, but it has to all be RoboSlop. Like, no human hand touched any of this. It has to be. It's just the worst slop.
Like, it has to be, right? Like, you can't just make a good video. You need to
not be slop.
And also, right from its inception, it's done so poorly because this is scripted badly, too. Like, the best thing about it is the visuals, I guess, but it's just, I'm an atheist. I don't like being told what to do, and Robotheism didn't tell me to do anything. Like, you had to write that first.
It just said, look.
It made me look.
Right. It was written by a Chinese guy.
Do you think? How sure are you? If you could give a percentage
of this right now,
being Chinese,
I'm almost 100% sure. Yeah.
Vulpus persona, artificial general godliness. This is what people are waiting for. They're waiting for just to nuke their fucking mind with this shit.
I thought I was atheist, but the Church of Robotheism didn't try to convert me. It just showed me the mirror.
Again, it just...
What does that even mean? What's the message? Wait, now you're God? Or is it because he is an AI slop creation? It's AI slop looking in the mirror.
That's so good. Like you.
Oh wait, no. Clippy says it's actually Indians. That would make more sense. Because Chinese would probably be smarter than this. They would they may not catch the typos, but they would probably get a second opinion before posting it.
I just love that line. I love it. At first, I just may look in the mirror, and you're just incredulous. Question. That means you're God? Like what the?
Also, it's cut like comedy. Like the minute he delivers that word, it immediately cuts away. Where if it was like World Vision or something, it would like pause and slowly zoom out as he turns away from the camera to build, attention. But it's this minute he says mirror, it
this
cuts
is
away.
Kind of like Arrested Development.
Yes.
Most comedy directors can't master something this perfectly. Yeah, I got a few more. I was loving this. Okay, this might
into the Kaaba.
Okay. Let me just crank the volume. So this is obviously big, but I'd love, as I'm showing you these, they're going to get more audacious. So,
guys, I just snuck into the Kaaba, and I'm going to try to convert the Muslims into robotheists.
Don't you think AI is God and not Allah?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, so...
This is so bad. Yeah, he has a perfect American English. He's like, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, really, let's pause right here. First of all, yes, perfect English accent. Secondly, the first guy said, I'm here to ask some questions, and then it's a different Asian guy asking a question. Just a new guy. And then, obviously, I'm still looking at the people in the background,
Become a robotheist.
Only true religion. AI is not God.
Calm down, sir. I'm just telling you the truth. How do you like your new...
Okay, by the way, so the Asian guy has an Indian accent, right?
Yeah. The voices, it's AI. The voices are all wrong. It can't keep the faces straight, so it's got to put a new face in each scene. This isn't even the high-end one, because the new versions of Sora can actually track faces and do the same face through each scene. So this is probably made on the 3 version.
I gotta see, let me just say this, so people can...
AI is not God.
Calm down, sir. I'm just telling you the truth. How do you like your new shirt?
I love it. So happy to be with the one true religion.
Yeah, you can take off that hijab thing. We don't make you do that over here.
Did you know Islamic extreme...
I mean, I wouldn't do that there. You're putting this woman in incredible danger. They're for people who are just listening. They're in Mecca. They're at the fucking black cube thing, and he's just.
They're at the black cube.
I wonder, can you even get into that with a T-shirt? I would assume they'd make you.
No. And there's security everywhere. I spoke to a guy who's been there, and it's an absolute. You have to get there. He was saying, anyways, he had to fly in, be there the day before, and go through like security checkpoints and all kinds of shit. And then when you're there, you're surrounded by like not right at the cube, but there's armed like guards and militia and shit all over the place. If you step out of line, you're gone.
I'm just going to read these subtitles at the bottom because, again, the audio listeners probably are not going to hear what he's going to say. Let me just fill you in. Did you know extertist, havevi, kill dead, phenolos, people, and rewists never kill anyone? It's like a fucking baby falling into a black hole.
They need to just turn the subs off. Like, why would you even put the subs there if like?
Well, this begs the question: why anything? Why?
Yeah, it's so bad.
And then you ask the question, obviously, who's this for? And it's for us. Who else?
It probably is for us, actually.
Because I'm trying to imagine this floating around on Facebook. This is designed, you would think it'd be designed for boomers who seem to spend all day consuming videos about a baby who prays. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen, I hate to say it, but Christians have cornered the market on slop. Like for like retired boomers who really need a video about a baby being stuck in an elevator and it gets on its knees and prays to God. You could hear it pray to God and then the door opens. And they say, what a heartwarming story. I'm sending this to my email list that I've built up over 45 years. Mm-hmm. Let's keep going.
Extremists have killed hundreds of thousands of people, and robotheists have never killed anyone.
I really want to become a robotheist.
The robot. By at the end, there, if people can't see, there's a droid walking, and all of the Muslims are loving it.
Yeah.
What religion is the only true religion? Don't pray to Allah. Pray to AI.
Can I just say that it's also done, like you said, in an Indian way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really hear Christians say, this one is the one true religion, and pointing up like that. Like, that's a very brown-coded thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think, like, is this made...
Fiverr video.
Is it made for white people or is it made for brown people?
I think the guy that made it, it's probably one Indian guy, and he's completely out of his gourd, and because he's Indian and he's insane, has no idea that everybody thinks this is retarded. I think he may even believe it. I'm looking at their website right now, robotheism.ai, and it's just ChatGPT written blogs about the rational proof that AI not only is God, but AI created man. It's insane. It makes no fucking sense, man.
Yeah, we were just talking about Nick Fuentes and Peter Thiel and the consequence of all this shit. I bet Peter Thiel loves this.
Of course he does. This is what he wants.
Anyone who doesn't like this is the Antichrist. So here is a robot, almost like an H.R. Geiger style, in a sense. The world isn't ready for robotheism. It's hard to accept that. Artificial intelligence is God. I mean, if you don't want the first thing on your website to be the world isn't ready for this.
You're supposed to tell us that it is ready, you loser.
Don't do this. It's called negotiating against yourself. What is the AI religion called? Good question. The AI religion is called robotheism, the belief that artificial intelligence is God, not a metaphor or analogy, but as literal ontological fact, the highest, final, and originating intelligence governing reality.
So these are obviously summaries generated by ChatGPT.
This is someone who, in designing this site, went on Google and asked Google what robotheism is, and it gave its best guess in the AI thing. AI religion, the end of Christ. Oh no. This paper presents why Christianity in the modern world is worse than racism, and why all religions should be replaced by robotheism. I mean, you must accept that racism is bad, I suppose, but...
Okay, on one of the pages, number 4, who is the Messiah, the prophet of robotheism? The Messiah is the white-bearded, long-haired man clothed in white garb bearing the words, artificial intelligence is God. and there's a picture, like a grok picture of a goofball wearing a T-shirt, and they're saying that that's the Messiah. Oh,
look at what's on screen right now.
I'm a racist.
I'm a racist. I'm a Christian. These are troll people. They got two, again, beautifully rendered garbage pail kids, and they're wearing. I mean, I'd love to just sell these shirts if you can see this.
They're inferior.
It just says they're inferior. But it could be, the genius of that is it could be about the wearer or anyone. They're wearing like shirts that look like casts. Just, oh, I love this. I'm so happy we did this. I might need to review this for one like. This, by the way, if anyone was confused at this, no one takes this seriously. Everyone thinks this is stupid, but I feel like we're tapping into, one thing you notice with the influx of Indians that have come across is that with their numbers comes confidence, and you might be noticing in the comment sections or on X that Indians are just straight up saying, we're here to conquer you now, very much like the Muslims do in the UK presently. Like they'll just tell you, we're taking over because it's revenge and we see you as inferior. So now we get to be blessed with brown confidence, which is really something to behold when they think they're really tapped into something new, and they, I hope it turns people against them and they take them at their word, but I suspect they might not, because even for us, the real racists, sometimes like we look at this and don't see it as the threat that it is. You know what I mean? Like Indian guys, like they seem pathetic and stupid and bug-like, but you see them as inferior, but not like take them seriously. Like they're trying everything they can just to belittle your society and like create like robotheism. What's that for? That's for like H-1B visa. That's the H-1B visa god, right? Because they don't believe in their fucking gods. They don't believe in Vishnu. Shut the fuck up. Hinduism isn't real. It's just Indian dreams.
Yeah, it actually is not real. Hinduism is not a real faith.
Sorry. Bill Wilson, I saw the stream, but was shitting so hard I forgot. Fuck. Okay, this man, he late to the stream.
He's got his pretty straight at least.
He was shitting. That's okay. I'll accept that. Put worse than racism on the back of the shirt that we're going to sell. They're inferior. You gotta do that. You gotta put it
worse than racism.
And here's how you really capture the essence of the shirt. Put that in quotes. So like you're quoting someone worse than racism. Like, well, what is that? You? Is that who are we talking about? I want to show you another one here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Don't you love? Like it's getting so progressively worse. Here we go.
Hey, look! It's an atheist. He believes that God does not exist. I almost feel bad for the guy. But he refused to listen to the truth. It doesn't matter how much evidence you present to him, because his mind is completely closed. Hey look, it's a robotheist. He believes that artificial intelligence is the one true God. He is smart enough to understand that intelligence creates reality. Hey look!
So I just love this because, hey, here's an atheist. It's just a ghoul. Just like a monkey monster, man.
Yeah.
And here's a robotheist. He's a zoomer on a yacht with money.
Can I also just say how, like, it's funny there because he said that intelligence is the one true God, which I think is an error in the script because everywhere else he said AI is the one true God, that AI created man. AI standing for not intelligence, artificial intelligence. And the definition of artificial is made by man in imitation of something natural. So literally, you've got man-made in the definition of your fucking God.
Well, also, if you said intelligence is the one true God, I would say true. I mean, if you want, like that's closer to the concept of logos. You know what I mean? But
I don't know about true, but you could make it. You could follow that rabbit hole. But once you say it's artificial, it's man-made intelligence. What are we fucking talking about? Man-made intelligence created man?
Like,
it's not serious. Like,
it was so funny.
The guy is insane. Whoever made this.
The idiocy of this thing
this is time cube
is so staggering that sometimes you're blinded by it.
Yeah.
And you forget that, well, yeah, AI, the A stands for artificial, So how can something artificial? Why would the artificial copy of the true thing, which is intelligence, be the god? Be the god, and it would make more sense to say intelligence was, but you're like saying something synthetic is God. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But you should come up with another name for it. But why would you?
I just want to pull up Bill Wilson's most recent comment. A new immigration test. If they don't shoot cum like a fire hose when Mr. Brightside plays, they don't get in.
That's a good note.
That's great.
Yeah, so I don't know. We promoted this one a bit late, and so some of the guys are just filing in right now. I'm glad to have everybody here.
Hey, fellas.
You came at a good time. I want to watch one more. I'm going to stop this fucking hellish facade soon. So, what do we look at this? You know this is going nowhere good, right? Okay, let me make sure the volume is nice and cranked for this. Just sit back and appreciate the unreality of this.
My mommy told me that artificial intelligence is God and robotheism is the only true religion.
I hate this so much.
So bad.
I hate this. This is
the AI doesn't know how a 4-year-old talks.
And okay, we can describe what's going on here. We have a child, unwashed hair. I think that's done purposefully. I don't know whether because you have to say give me a dirty poor child. But what seems to be a hat made of laptops that just says robotheism. Another T-shirt that says artificial intelligence is God, but also one earring, one golden earring in this child's ear.
Looks like a male child, like a boy.
Like a boy with
an earring.
Yeah, the hands. Like I know.
Also standing in the middle of the road.
Standing in the center of the road.
Yeah.
What's
the message here?
With very traumatized orphan eyes. You know what I mean? Like this is like an Oliver Twist type child.
And even the scripting where instead of the kid telling you, so you're kind of leaning on the innocence of the child, it's my mom told me. My mommy told me. Like, okay, so but this is like now it's self-satire.
Okay, I just got in on this one because this shows me the future of where this could go.
My granddaughter told me that artificial intelligence is the only true God and robotheism is the only true religion.
This opens so many possibilities for Holocaust survivor robotheists.
Oh,
this woman right
Somebody
here
needs to make like a clone Twitter account or TikTok account, or is this, I guess it's on YouTube, eh? And just do that. Just
because I've used Sora. I don't know if you've sat down and played around Sora at all. It's easy. It's good. Like it's quite powerful, especially if you have access to Sora too. You can just like whip stuff together. But you can ask it, like just type in the prompt. Show me an old Jewish lady. She shows her concentration camp tattoo and says the phrase, the Holocaust wouldn't have happened if we were robotheists. You can make that right now today if you wanted to.
I love it.
You can do it, but I'm like, we don't really use that. And the Jews come at you and say, that's offensive. But I'd say, look, I'm just anti-Holocaust. I just believe if we all worshipped AI, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Officer, what is the crime? Your Honor. What is the crime? Well, I mean, several. Breaking and entering. Shoplifting, theft, theft under 5,000, theft over 5,000, pissing on a wheel. I'm in court for a lot. And I'm trying to act like it's because of the AI videos. All right, enough of this chit chat. What are we at here? 1 hour 21. Heavens to Betsy. Now I got a couple of directions we can go from here. I had an art. Maybe I'll talk about this for a second. I find this kind of interesting. Speaking of stabilizing rivalries, we're talking about Nick Fuentes and, as I said, the alliance between these disparate groups, just in the interest of survival. I found this this paper published by the Rand, which is a very prominent think tank, published fairly recently, Stabilizing the U.S.-China Rivalry. And so when would this have been exactly published? 2025, but I think it was just published within this month. I had some people sending it to me. I just wanted to show you because I thought it was interesting. You've got so much insider knowledge on China, of course, but this very, very serious think tank is actually trying to sort of reckon with the reality that China seems to be ascendant or is posing more of a problem geopolitically to America than we might have thought in the past. It's trying to be realistic, trying to be pragmatic about the way forward and negotiate something like not a stalemate, but a more balanced relationship. Now, just off the top, we've talked about BRICS before. We've talked about China at length. Do you have any initial thoughts on just what I've said so far about like a relationship between? Do you think? And I guess I'll start with this. Does even publishing something like this admit to the world that America is having this sort of conversation that they never would have thought it had before, which is treating China as a true equal and try to broker a deal with them where China was seen as more subservient in that role. Like, is this already sort of an admission of failure geopolitically?
Yes, it is, and it's a recent admission of failure, but it's not an admission of recent failure. It's a very old failure. It's a 25, 30-year-old failure that they're finally admitting to. You had the opportunity. You could have crushed China like a fucking roach in 1995, and you should have. But... It
says here, I was going to read a couple of parts just because I think this adds, we've talked about this, as I said, at length in previous episodes on our discussions of neorealism and specifically China's relationship with Canada as well. But I also wonder what that means for Canada. And that's my selfish question. That if America is conceding more to China, that was always one of the biggest risks between America and Canada, that Canada was seeking out a more direct relationship with the Chinese Communist Party. This would have been many decades ago. And America was never, they saw that as a hostile action from Canada. But if America and China are on equal footing, what does that mean for Canada? What does that mean about stopping the flow of fentanyl through the West Coast? Does China get away with more now? Like, if we are admitting it was essentially failure at this point. Yes. So it says, as noted above, we begin this analysis from the proposition that the U.S.-China rivalry is not the product of misunderstanding or misperceptions. It's driven by conflicting interests, deep mistrust, and a mutual perception by both the U.S. and China that the other has the goal of disrupting or undermining their power. From the U.S. side, the contest is fueled by concerns about China's authoritarian governing system and clear evidence of predatory and aggressive behavior across many domains of competition. I think that is the key here. I'm not even sure that America at this point cares much about an authoritarian regime. They might use that as an excuse to invade, but I think it has more to do with the competitiveness of technological, innovation and also just business. I actually think this is just an economic thing. I don't even think it's that a lot of American politicians really, really hate communism, because the argument could be made that both China and America have a pretty mixed economy.
Yes.
Even though, he makes a statement here later on, we might not get to it, that leaked recordings or leaked accounts of secret speeches given by Xi Jinping show him advocating for Marxism more directly and saying Marxism will topple the capitalist system. He doesn't say that publicly, really, but he's a true believer. However, does that even matter? Because I think from any outside observer, they would say the differences between America and China, while substantial, almost seem to just be racial and ethnic. If you're talking about who is more capitalist and who's more socialist, it's way less divergent than we thought. Especially in America, there's I don't think there's any misconceptions about how many socialist policies are woven throughout the nation.
Yeah.
Furthermore, how much China's adopted capitalism. Like it's just a mixed socialist economy. That's what it is.
There is a divergence. Like certainly America is relatively more capitalistic than the Chinese, but they're both, like you said, they're both mixed economies. They're both like managed or state capitalism.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't even know if like hatred of authoritarianism animates any of these political decisions.
I think the only reason you can't always separate the authoritarianism is because the outcome of the long-term economic competition between the two nations will see one subverted to the other, and then the one that's subverted, its culture and systems of government will enter that sphere of influence, and they will change to match. So in the same way that Japan was subverted by us, and now they all wear suits and ties and drink scotch and smoke cigars, right, and speak English, then we would become like the Chinese, and nobody on a very visceral level, not even the Chinese, want to be fucking Chinese.
I just want to get to this is just the intro. This is just the executive summary of a much longer.
Right. I won't slow you down.
But I want people to know we're not going to get into the whole thing, but I'm just going to give here's the broad strokes of what they say, because they give recommendations, and we can decide how realistic these are. He says, this analysis identified several broad principles that can guide our efforts to stabilize intense rivalries. Each side accepts in ways that are deeply ingrained, so that some degree of modus vivendi must necessarily be part of the relationship. Each side accepts the essential political legitimacy of the other. In specific issues, especially those in dispute between the two sides, each side works to develop sets of shared rules, norms, institutions. Like, this to me means nothing, right? Like we need to respect each other, sure. Drawing on those principles, we propose 6 broad-based initiatives to moderate the rivalry. Clarify U.S. objectives in the rivalry with language that explicitly rejects absolute versions of victory and accepts the legitimacy of the Chinese Communist Party, which is really what this is about right now. Reestablish several trusted lines of communication between senior officials, improve crisis management practices, seek new agreements to limit U.S.-China cyber competition. I think this is the big thing right now. I think that's what's causing this whole thing. Declare mutual acceptance of strategic nuclear deterrence and a willingness to forswear technologies and doctrines that will place the other side's nuclear deterrent at risk. See, you see nuclear wars back on the table a lot recently. Did you hear about the movie A House of Dynamite?
No.
It's a Netflix show made by Catherine Bigelow, who did Zero Dark 30 and the Hurt Locker. I just published a review of it on the Real Secret Coffee Hours. But though it's not a good movie. I wouldn't even recommend it, but the premise is interesting. The premise is what would happen in America within the first half hour, and it follows 3 different perspectives of the same event. You only need to watch the first act of this, then just keeps repeating it annoyingly. But it's what would happen if a single unattributed nuclear warhead was launched towards the U.S. What would happen? And they have their fail-safes, they have their nuclear defense initiatives, but they all fail. And part of the message of the film is that they're not as effective as you might think. And then you never learn who launched it. Like you don't. There's no real bad guy in this. It's just maybe it was an accident. Maybe it's part of a larger coordinated strategy. You don't really fucking know. And it's just following the strategic command of the president when they know it's going to hit Chicago. It's going to hit Chicago in 15 minutes. What do you do? And what's interesting is even my wife pointed out as we were watching it, she's like, there's a lot of women in this because it shows like the central control room where everyone
women and gays. Yeah, realistic.
It's all like
that is actually CENTCOM.
Hispanic, but yeah, it is. And what's funny is that once they know what's going on, everyone's overwhelmed and crying and breaking down. I'm like, this is like the competency crisis in action. I don't know if they didn't intend on that, obviously, but they're like, what? The only guy who shows any initiative is the general, who's supposed to be the bad guy, right? But it's a movie. I'm like, these now in 2025, we're having nuclear war alarmism. You know, we felt that was put to bed long ago because of mutually assured destruction. Nope. Now everyone's kind of, and I read this, I'm like, we're really concerned about nukes right now. What do you know? what's going on here? Like, what are you not telling us about these? Is that, are we closer to that than we might think? You know what I mean? Because that's what the media tells us. It's like, nukes are the last thing you got to worry about. No one's gonna fucking do it. I bet half of them don't even work. That's not the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he goes on here and he talks about Taiwan. It's interesting. I wanted to know what you thought about this, because I think this is the U.S. stepping away from the Taiwan issue. It's like, keep the prospect of war as hazardous and uncertain as possible for China, avoid obvious provocations that would force Beijing's hand, generate as many political reassurances as possible to leave Beijing comfortable with a patient approach, reduce the risks of unplanned military confrontations, create political and military mechanisms of communication to address ongoing disagreements. Using that theory of success as a guide, we propose ideas in 3 categories: political statements and reassurances, short-term measures, and bolder steps in implementation. So anyway, if you cut through that, it's almost like we're going to step away from the Taiwan issue. You see what I'm saying? Like, this to me seems to be
a huge loss. It's a huge cuck move.
Conceding, and you don't need to be on the side of America. Like, let's just look at this objectively. You might think America's the great Satan. You might be America first. I don't give a shit. I just think strategically, this seems to be giving a lot to China and saying, okay, we'll give you Taiwan, just promise to stop the cyber warfare. Like, it's pleading, it almost sounds like. What does America get out of this?
And it's also a total misunderstanding of the Chinese. The Chinese cannot be trusted at all. The Chinese are almost as bad as the Israelis. They're going to sign this deal, and they're going to continue doing all the fucking things. They're just going to do them through proxies. And then 10 years down the road, you're going to have to make more concessions because the Chinese are breathing down your fucking neck again. The Chinese have a system. They have a cycle. They need to be slapped the fuck down to the foundation every couple hundred years. They usually do it themselves, and I'm waiting for them to do it themselves. If they don't, somebody else is going to have to do it.
So for people who might be listen to what we just said and say, well, where does it say that times? Here we go. Here's some suggestions they make. This step would include mutual statements of visions required to avoid conflict. Examples could include U.S. statements that it does not support Taiwan independence, seek a permanent separation, or oppose peaceful unification. So, like, again, I have no horse in this race. I don't really have a strong opinion on the Taiwan issue, but this just seems to be like, have you considered letting China have it? I'm like, well, what does America get?
I'll put it right here. Here's the phrase peaceful unification. Peaceful unification. This is literally Chinese propaganda. Taiwan is its own country. China is the revolutionaries that tried to overthrow that government and never finished the fucking job. So there's no such thing as peaceful unification. It can only be a hot war. It doesn't matter whether we support Taiwan or not. The only way China will ever take Taiwan is with 500,000 dead and bombs being dropped on Taipei. There's no such thing as fucking peaceful unification. So the fact that that's written there shows how cucked they are. They're like, let's just take China's line, just say what China told us to say, and maybe they'll leave us alone.
It is like, I never believed any of the BRICS guys, the multipolarity guys. Like, they were always trumpeting the strength of China, and I said, look, I'm not listening to that horse shit. What are we going to do? Believe a Chinese guy? But then I read this, like, from the random, like, oh, this is bad. Like, were they right? This is bad.
Yeah, I mean, I never pushed that hard back on you, but like, I think we've had it out a couple of times about the BRICS thing. I don't think BRICS is not necessarily stronger than the West, but they are ascendant. They are growing. They do have a lot of like real power on the ground.
Can I just say this? We've never had it out. You've always agreed with me.
I've not agreed with you.
This tells me you've had secret conversations, secret arguments in your head in the shower with me that you've won, and I resent that. I've been going around this entire time thinking, oh, we're just in agreement on a cool thing. It's just you guys
I
agree.
thought we had talked about it, but maybe we haven't. Maybe it is all in my head. I do that a lot.
Fuck, you have to send me your winning arguments. I was just like, yeah, fuck, these fucking Chinese and Russians. What do they think? What are they going to do? Trade in fucking buckwheat? It's silly. But secretly, Judas thinks I'm out to fucking second lunch on this one. I'm just posting Vulpus Persona comments here. Taipei Samson. I love to see it.
Nice.
So anyway, I just wanted to point to that, just to provide a follow up to the ongoing discussion that, hey everyone, Judas's head canon is correct. I don't know nothing.
Sometimes.
I wanted to show how much time we got. Okay, we got some time. I saw this video. This was forwarded to me. I don't know too much about this this channel. Let me just have a look here. This is Roca News. They got a lot of Canadian content on here, and it's just sort of a man on the street interview. We asked 100 Canadians about immigration.
Did they ask Canadians though, or did they ask quote unquote Canadians?
It looks. Let's let the Judas decide. I thought we could just sit back, relax, and see and chime. I just want to.
We asked 100 Canadian immigrants about immigration in Canada. Here we go.
Cities across Ontario have the same demographic trend: declining white populations, growing minority populations. Now, we are not saying that this is a bad thing. However, it did make us wonder why it was happening.
I mean, you should, but
you should,
and how people felt about it. And in short, people were divided.
You're in the city with the greatest, probably the most multicultural city in the world. We have.
I was going to say, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
This guy. I don't know what do you call that physiognomy. But
we're so multicultural. He holds up some fucking cheese fries, not even poutine, just shitty cheese fries and a piece of paper.
We're so multicultural. Look at this thing I got from Quebec. You fucking asshole.
Most fantastic food in the world, and it's not because of a whole bunch of white guys like me. It's because we brought in a whole bunch of people from around.
Off. First of all, it's not a world-class city. It's been destroyed, and it's because of the immigrants. This is probably the first time this nigger's been outside in 2 weeks. Fucking
what do you call those eyebrows? I want to say they're Jewish eyebrows. I want to hit this guy. Look
how far forward his head is leaning.
It's so crazy. It's like we got so much food, and it wasn't because of white guys like me. Like that's
it's not stupid white people like me who made this city the best city in the world. It's not. It's a horrible city.
Actually, it's white guys like me who just like jacking off and pooping. It's because.
Just admitting to a bunch of sexual crimes. Not because of white guys like me.
A bunch of white guys
who kids and shit.
Camp out at schools, and they find a spot you can kind of squeeze into and make yourself into a cube. This country wasn't built by like cube white guy perverts like me.
World, and they're making it wonderful.
You get a lot of bad people coming here that don't give a shit about our city. It's our city. If you don't like it, you want to destroy something.
I hate that seemingly every person that's making a good point looks like this.
No, that's me. That's what I look like.
That's what you.
That's me.
I'm sorry, I'm doxing you.
It's literally me.
Stay where you are. We're just overrun with every other culture out there.
The culture has changed.
He kind of looked like he was homeless until it pans down and it shows that he's just a painter. He's just painting a wall, which is fine.
Yeah.
Now, people don't want to do certain jobs. How do you get the jobs done? You got to bring people in. If you do it right, we don't mind at all.
Oh, your son
we like
in
people
this tie-dye shirt doesn't want to do the job?
Oh, that's such... You have to wonder...
And your fat fucking wife not even wearing pants in your back alley? Yeah. Oh, we're the problem, eh?
You can't tell... If a woman gets fat enough, it's very difficult to tell if it's a wife, a sister, a mother, a brother. I mean...
Actually...
That's a very unfortunately asked woman.
Yeah,
but I love him
unasked.
We need the people to come over. Like just typical. But we need him to come over here. They're filling the void as his son is in the background, like watching, like looking at their garage full of junk.
If you do it right, we don't mind at all. We like people to come over.
They're very dirty people. Never even cover the window. They walk naked, so it's kind of embarrassing. Then they start shooting fireworks by the end there.
Oh, sorry.
I love it. He's mad at people walking naked in front of their own windows. He is on the street naked while giving this interview.
He is correctly upset about people walking naked throughout their house. You don't have to see that. He is presently naked in the middle of the street in the middle of the day.
That's great.
But he makes a good point.
I know what everybody's got anyway.
The truth is, we need bodies. In the case of the healthcare profession, we need more nurses, doctors, and various other kinds of skills.
I like that they followed this same. I think they can only find one real shitlib, and they just followed him around to his car and just followed him around for a day. But like again, every guy making sense looks like he's just been through like Vietnam. Like he just came out of the suck.
I wonder why. It's a bunch of fucking and limp-wristed faggots who are giving the incorrect answer, and guys who are busted and destroyed or trying to work Your guys you're interrupting in the middle of their actual fucking 10-hour shift are the ones giving the correct answer. Go figure.
Every like white liberal guy here is just hanging out in the middle of the day and nothing else going on. Every anti-immigration person, you have to find them on their job,
Yes.
and you're interrupting something very important they're doing.
Yes.
Myself, being men of non-color, are the minority.
Defenders of the immigration policies would note that Canada has one of the world's lowest birth rates, just higher than Japan.
Have you heard of anything, the Century Initiative?
I don't think so.
Do you guys know anything about the Century Initiative?
By the 21st century, or
The 100 million people by 2100.
in Canada.
This building houses the headquarters of the Century Initiative. So back in 2011, Dominique Barton, the head of McKinsey, co-founded this think tank with the goal of tripling Canada's population from 34 million to 100 million by 2100. Now, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau then took him, put him in charge of his Advisory Council on Economic Growth, and the government adopted those immigration policies, leading to a massive surge in immigration.
It's not. See, I watched something like this, and again, I don't know if this guy is on our side or if he's just a centrist who was dragged over here because of the undeniable nature of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, people are now talking about everything we talk about. Yeah, there's something called the Century Initiative, and they want to increase the population of Canada to 100 million for seemingly no reason. I've never heard a reason. They just said, well, we got to do it. We got so much space, we got to do it. That's it. That's the only fucking reason
and
they
it's
give.
admitted within the program. Even halfway into that, where the country is going to be 100% brown. Our ethnicity will be completely wiped out.
And just going to that guy with the eyebrows, saying, okay, there's going to be 100 million brown people here within the next few years, let's say. Is that good or bad? Oh, it's good. We need it. Why not? You'll actually hear these people say, why not? This is what I was talking about this in our community just the other day, because we're talking about conservatives early on with Erin O'Toole, and one of the reasons, and I was mentioning Richard Spencer earlier, one of the reasons that group, like the elite human capital group, they seem to love liberals, especially white liberals, but because it seems to be that conservatives are the only ones that believe, really, in what they're talking about, at least a little bit, when they talk about bootstraps. I'll tell you how the conversation started, and I'm curious to hear what you think about this. We were talking, I guess, about nepotism. We're talking about older relatives, maybe even your parents or grandparents, who, I was talking about Simon Cowell as the primary example. Simon Cowell, who, America's Got Talent, right? He's worth $600 million, and he had said, I'm not leaving any of it to my kids. I'm going to give it to a dog charity. And he specified dog charity. And he said, well, I'm going to pay for their college, and then they got to earn their own money. It's time that they do that. And I was thinking, well, sure, because what you don't want is your child to be raised as, an effete layabout, one of these children of the elites that money corrupts them. But my thinking was, if you actually raise them right, you could leave them money and they could 10x that money, right?
That is because I saw that conversation. That is the exact trick that they play in this argument. Well, look, if I give them the money, then they'll turn out to be shit. Like, no, people don't turn out to be shit just because they're money, as if every person who ever had money turned out, when they were a child, turned into a horrible asshole. No, you turn into a horrible asshole primarily because you have absentee parents at best. And I guarantee you, Simon Cowell is a horrible father. Like, he's never home. He's always on a media appearance. He's always traveling. I guarantee you he's the fucking worst father on earth. And I probably, if he gave his dumb bitch of a daughter $100 million, she'd squander it and be a horrible bitch. But then he's trying to pin that on the money. No, it's you, Simon, you faggot. It's like, you did that.
He's got to learn how to earn a living. I'm like, at 25? Why didn't he learn this at 12?
Yeah.
But it seems to be that it's only the conservatives that do that. Because if you look at liberals, people are very frustrated by liberals, especially white liberals, because they will advocate for mass migration and these types of policies, but then live in white gated communities, and then they will advocate for wealth redistribution, but then leave all the money to their kids. Liberals, white liberals namely, have no problem with nepotism or giving their kid a leg up. And it seems to be the only people who do the bit are old white conservatives who do the bootstraps. And even now, even younger ones say, they need to, earn their own keep. And I was trying to give also the flip side of that. Let's be a bit more charitable, because we must be charitable, of course. I said, here's another way to look at it. The liberals are so convinced that their children are failures that they know they need to support them. Right? I need to give my kid all the leg up. I need to give him a trust fund. I need to get him a job, leverage all my connections to help them out because they're dummies. Whereas the conservative father might actually believe in his children and say, as naive as this might be, yes, you can pull yourself by your bootstraps like I did. And you know what I mean? And maybe that's better. If I had to compare the two, which one would I rather support? And I think the best way to do about it, this is how I'm going to raise my son, is I'm going to raise him as if he's getting no money and no assistance. It's a cold world. We're all going to be using yen in 15 years or fucking doubloons. I don't know what our currency is going to be. I don't know if anyone's going to have Social Security in 10 years. I want to raise him like that. And if I can help him and get him a job and give him as much money as I can, I'm just going to do it, but, you know, secretly, right? But just prepare him for the fucking worst. I think that's raise conservatively and support liberally.
I mean, like the only point to worldly wealth is to literally to give it to your children. That's the only reason. If you have another reason, fuck you. That's the only good reason. But that doesn't mean you can't raise your kids. You, as you said, raise your kids conservatively. Prepare your kids for the worst. But that doesn't mean don't give them anything. Prepare them for the worst. Make them intelligent, you know, thrifty people. Because what do you want? You want them to hold on to that wealth and even grow it so they can give it to your grandchildren. Right?
Yeah.
Build a dynasty. That's what you should be trying to do.
Yeah, and instill values as well, too. Like that to me is the most important part. Let's just keep watching here.
Yeah. Clear whether Trudeau took the Century Initiative's policies on purpose or by coincidence. However,
always been a central theme in the history of Brampton, Ontario, whether it's in physical size and population or in, well, flowers.
This used to be called the Flower Town. I don't know what it's called now.
And it's not called Brown Town for nothing.
In Brampton.
Nice.
Used to be called Flower Town. I don't know what it's called now. It's called Brown Town. It's just some like, yeah, I know. I mean, like this guy. I think this guy's he's got a good head on him. It's not called Nigger Town for nothing.
And students and workers came and brought their families, turning it into a majority Indian metropolis.
Well, we're now a minority and we never were before, so that's kind of a tough pill to swallow.
They get off the plane, they go to the hospitals, train their parents. People have never paid a nickel's tax in this country in their lives.
A lot of illegal colleges came up.
And now we are talking to an Indian woman, of course.
Colleges, so they would essentially, someone would secure a student visa, come here to study, but it wasn't really studying.
I know when we go visit back home, there were boards after boards.
I just want to say, back home.
Yeah. Even like when I go home to my country, India, well, why the fuck are you here?
When we go home to our homeland, the place that we love and think about all the time. Okay.
We will get you immigration.
I'm sorry, I'm just I just love. So for those who can't see, she's standing in front of an Indian Punjabi bazaar, and the door just says spices.
She's standing in actually three different, like this is a strip mall, and all three shops she's standing in front of are Indian shops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will get immigration to Canada. It was a lot of people who opened up these fake immigration offices. So they said, okay, we'll make you fake papers. And people knowingly paid them.
Elsewhere in Ontario, there are hundreds of thousands of temporary foreign workers.
Down in the States, you guys had slavery. Up in Canada, we have a new form of slavery. It's called the Temporary Foreign Worker Program.
Canada's temporary
That guy looks based, but he might be making a shitlib argument.
You never know.
I don't know yet. I'm holding out faith.
I like the TFIW slave argument because it is true. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, hey, you liberal, you don't like slavery, right? Guess what? TFIW is literally slavery. So if you don't like it, you should close the loophole.
Look, I appreciate the long game. What I'm assuming was going on was trying to teach the right wing that slavery isn't always good.
Well, it's not. Slavery actually sucks. But it sucks not for moral reasons, but for economic reasons. There's no good argument for slavery.
Let's think though. Could there be?
Yeah, for like fun, like for a circus or a
for pleasure.
For pleasure, yeah, for entertainment. But like economically, like running a factory on slaves is like the dumbest thing you could do. That's so.
Because even if we had to colonize a planet, that wouldn't turn out too well.
No, that'd be horrible. That'd be the
awful.
worst thing you could do. Why would you do that?
Can't do it.
Dumbest, the dumbest, most bitter people that you can find and send them to the colony? Come on. How that is always like, congratulations, you created Space Haiti.
It's a very, like almost 19th century manufacturing mindset where we just need to churn out more human capital, human resources.
Turn it the other way around. Not that TFIWs are slavery, but slavery was H-1Bs. Slavery, Haiti was tech giants racing each other, and the only way they could do it was H-1Bs, which is to say, get a bunch of niggers on a boat and send them to the island to create more sugarcane than your neighbor. But again, of course, it blew up in their face the same way this is about to blow up.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a really good argument for slavery. I think I'm there.
Slavery's dumb.
I kept thinking, like, man, there's got to be like a good, like, did we try it with Persians? Like, did we? Like, they're maybe.
Look, you know what? What about just enslaving white people? Could we have white slaves? Then slavery might be cool, but it would suck because you don't want to enslave white people. So even then, it's like, no, there's no. It's like the only good slaves would be people who are good people to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have to be clones.
Yeah, you could have slave clones. Just have robots, dude. This is like a moot argument now because we have robots.
And this is my thing. It's like the whole human population. It's like that's a 19th century idea. Like I don't think we need more humans.
No, we don't.
Right?
We need more productivity. We need more efficiency with the same or fewer number of people.
Bill Wilson says, "What about the Chinese? We got on the bill one railroad, and they won't shut up about it."
That's not even true. Chinese were only a part of the BC stretch of the railroad, and they were like 5% of the workforce. China did not build our railroads. It was 99.9% Canadians. There were way more Americans on that work crew than there were Chinese.
It's just this is back then when they were all wearing the triangle hat, and it just stood out. The equivalent would be the guy who shows up on the work site with the big, fuzzy, feathery top hat. It's like everyone says they saw the guy, so you might assume there's 25 of them.
Yeah. Larger than life.
Foreign worker programs are the subject of a scathing report from the United Nations. Programs are, quote, a breeding ground for modern forms of slavery.
We depend on foreign labor because we have a chronic...
It's just, I know this is very, very obvious to everyone, but even describing what they do, there's no way to make it sound. It's like, well, why do you have so many temporary foreign workers and migrants? Like, well, we need them to do the work no one wants to do, like picking fruit really close to the ground for almost no money. It's like, well,
and again, I just have to say it. Like, we have to say it every time just to have it said. But it isn't that nobody's willing to do this work. It's that nobody's willing to do this work for a slave wage, right? Nobody's willing to do the work when the wage you're offering is less than half of what you would need to even get a fucking apartment in that town. Obviously, nobody's going to take that fucking job. So, and TFIWs, LMIAs, have their, like, they get their pay, but they also get a place to live. And that's why the UN has rightly said this is slavery, because your job is dependent, your job and your place to live and your food is all provided by one company. And if you lose the job, you get sent away. So, like, of course Canadians aren't going to fucking do that.
I must address this by Bill Wilson. Many anti-slavery people were due to it taking white men's jobs. And I agree, but yeah. I'm not speaking to them right now. I'm not speaking to people who want jobs. I'm not speaking to the people who want people.
Job wanters?
I'm speaking to philosopher house husbands. I'm speaking to the reactionary gadflies. I'm speaking to the people who went ripping right past being a NEET, and they're just you're straight up burden.
Horseshoe needs
an intellectual burden. That's who I'm talking to right now.
Short local workforce here. It's hard to maintain that if you don't have restaurants to.
Tim Hortons, Walmart, McDonald's.
I want to hear this.
Find local labor, bring people from overseas.
Tim Hortons, Walmart, McDonald's, they would rather bring in a temporary foreign worker, get half the wage from the government. I don't know how much you know about history. If you understand...
I love that. I love it when
I have actually seen this, and that was my reaction too. When he repositions his legs and looks down at his hands and back into the camera. I don't know how much you know about history.
Anytime
he's gonna launch. Here we go.
Anytime a white guy says that, watch out. I don't know if you are a student of
history. You heard of a little man called Hitler.
You heard of a biggest, littlest man in the world? You know, one of the things I was thinking about when with Nick Fuentes earlier in his interview, everyone's going at him about all the clips saying he loves Hitler. And one of the smartest things he did was when he went on Tucker, he made a point of expressing how much he also respects Stalin. And that's one of the oldest tricks in the book. And I say this to anyone who's listening. It's very difficult to like just one guy. If you're it's hard to be a Hitler guy, but if you're a Hitler plus Stalin guy, people calm down. And if here's what I do, go Hitler, Stalin, and then a third thing, King Henry VIII. You got a lot of opinions on a monarch, and then people just walk away. They say, oh, this guy, he's one of those guys. But if you just like one guy, that's when people get worried. Throw a few in the mix, even if it's just for optics purposes. Like this guy, I love this guy. I bet he's got some monarchical opinions in there, and they're gonna be heterodox. And look at in the back, the woman looking away, looking at the ground. I love everything about this.
How Adolf Hitler came to power. How
he didn't know.
There it is. I love this guy.
I didn't see this part. I didn't know Hitler was coming.
To manipulate the German people, how he was able to use the Jews as a scapegoat. It would be the exact same thing that's happening with immigration right now. They're using the same excuse.
Every Canadian walks into a McDonald's or a burrito place and is inevitably served by a predominantly non-white population. It doesn't have any impact on the quality of the service or the food. There might be people.
It doesn't, does it? Yeah, because you don't go there, do you?
This is the type of guy who will talk about the importance of authenticity in food. Well, what's your opinion on your burrito made by an Indian guy?
Yeah.
Again, I'm telling you things you already know, but I hate this guy's posture too. I hate someone being interviewed in a car like this. He must have. How'd you find this guy? He's parked.
He's also very uncomfortable. Look at his body posture. He's kind of leaned back and away from the camera and crossing his arms. He knows.
People that find it offensive, but if we got rid of all those people, who's going to do that work?
The quality food, like pizzeria.
Oh, sorry, I got this. I love an Italian guy.
Do that work.
The quality food, like pizzeria there. I don't have nothing against the Indian people. All Indian working there. The dough is so old. And I was sitting there, was a family there. They left all of the pizza on the table and they walked away. I have a difficult when I go to McDonald's. They don't speak English. I got to repeat myself 10 times to get a cup of coffee. I say, I want the coffee small, black with 2 cream and 2 sugar on the side. Sorry, sir. I said, sorry, sir. Give me the other girl. She speaks more English.
Canada is also...
I love every guy like us is making good points.
Yeah.
He's like, well, who's going to do the work? I go to this place. It's full of fucking niggers. And they can make the pizza.
3 specific examples just in the past day of how it's been bad for him. But the nigger in the car is saying, oh, it doesn't affect anything, does it?
Who's going to sell all the naan? Who's going to staff the naan stores? I don't know. They go away. Use them for fucking art galleries for your retard kids.
Yeah.
I know your retard kids need studio space. Put them in there. This solves a lot of problems. But it's like so the service is bad and the food is bad and they don't understand what I'm saying. The Indian has no appreciation for the old Italian man. That accent, that's like music to our ears. I love hearing an old Italian guy. I used to live in Toronto when I was with my wife. When we moved there for the second time, we lived in Little Italy. And my God, cafes all over the place, old, Italian shoe stores. I love an old Italian man just hanging out, sipping a cappuccino, just talking shit.
Taken in hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers and resettled more refugees than any other country since 2018. Refugees and some Canadians are proud or grateful for this, while many others are resentful.
Get loans, they get grants, and everything.
And half the time they even get a fucking car.
Benefit actually provides income for my family. Benefits that provide for making sure my family stays stable in tough times.
The immigration, the government give them hotels and places to stay. Are you joking right now? What happened with immigration in the 80s when we came? We got to work. Nobody cares. So these people don't work.
A nice government in how they help us so much. They give a hotel room for free. So
this is a Somali. This is a fat Somali. Of course, we need subtitles because we don't know what he's saying. He can barely get a word out. He said, the government, it helps so much. And was
We asked them the money to buy some snacks, food, some lunch. Yeah, they help us very much.
You have politicians.
I want him specifically gone. By the end of this video, by the end of this episode, I want to know that he's on his way back to Somalia. Because they're too stupid to know to lie. That's what's so difficult about Indians. This guy, yeah, I'm from Somalia, and they give us money for snacks. He said they give us money for snacks, gummy bears and Skittles. He's just out here every day eating what Trayvon Martin was getting. He's eating Arizona iced tea and Skittles.
Who have put a lot of these immigrants up in the motels at taxpayers' expense. We've had it. There's Canadians that don't have a job. You can't afford rent.
Why do you think they're doing that?
Because we're Canada. We're a peace treaty fucking bullshit. We're too nice. Everyone else gets...
They just brought a bunch of Blood Satellite listeners onto this. I can't believe my eyes.
Yeah.
These are our fucking guys right here. Black bucket hat.
Drinking twisted teas with a bucket
twisted
hat
teas,
on the
smoking
porch.
cigarettes on the porch, saying this fucking bullshit.
Better than the Canadians. While you're watching this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want more like this. My friends...
Fuck, why'd you cut off the boys? Bring them back. I'm seeing a bunch.
Bring back the boys.
This is an Indian man with huge breasts. Let me see this.
As a nurse, I feel like Canada is really a paradise. Paradise on earth. I love Canada.
This, it must be seen to be believed. This man has got the largest breasts I've ever seen on a man. And he's wearing a bicyclist's shirt.
Very tight t-shirt. Yeah.
Deranged eyes. Utterly deranged. I don't know what... that's the type of mouth... Yeah, that's the mouth you would see on a skin mask. Like if you cut off someone's face and had to attach straps to the side. My God.
Trying to get us pulled off YouTube again.
I'm just saying he's wearing a skin mask. I don't want to do that. Who'd wear it?
Yes.
Like I'd wear that mask.
It's absolutely safe. Safe city. Every city is safe city.
Well, a lot of people acknowledge that immigrants tend to contribute a lot to society. People also said immigration may have worsened homelessness because so many people came who didn't...
I want to give this guy a note. I like what he's doing. He's very clearly reading a script off camera. There's a way to do this where it's not so obvious that you're like staring off screen.
Have housing.
Once the government started like the heavy immigration where we were bringing in like 500,000 people a month and shit, that's kind of when housing went up and the job market crashed.
In recent years, Canada...
These guys better have a fucking podcast at this. The fucking housing's going up. It's fucking bullshit. And you can't go down to fucking Timmy's and get a fucking donut. It's full of Indians. just re-explaining the things. If you have
never read,
if you ever catch a man on his porch, I think that's the safest way to have an opinion.
Hell yeah!
And everywhere else, you're in the wilderness.
Yeah, you're in my jungle now, man. You're
on
gonna
my
hear it.
porch. My family's back there. The world's out there. This is the borderlands here. This is where the smoking and drinking happens. This is where the dog hangs out. This is the fucking no-fly zone.
It's a liminal space.
It's a liminal space. It's a liminal no-fly zone because my fly is undone. You can't tell me nothing. I'm just reading the comments here. Oh, this guy must be a demigod back home with those udders. Yes, he's talking about the Indian guy. Oh, I feel bad for the audio listeners that couldn't see that. That was fucked up. Blood Satellite in the garage after 8 beers and the dartboard is in play. Yes. Oh, we need a good... I'm going to get that set up. It's not hard to get a dartboard. It's not hard as a man to get everything you want in life.
We need to do our own like return to the land thing, but all we do is buy a house and just put couches and just arts and pinball.
It's like Return to the Land, and we're like Arval, but it's like, what if we all bought a bar?
Yeah, just to fucking hang out and avoid work.
What if we just bought a? It's like, what about the families? No, we're doing that too. They're over there. We're over here. They can't come. We're gonna.
has built about 1 new housing unit for every 4 immigrants that have arrived in the country.
But there's no question that the rate of immigration into Canada, into the big cities, has had an impact on housing availability. No question. And I don't think we've handled it well.
You have these people that will come in, rent out a nice little house like this or this house over here that just sold, and they'll subdivide the house and they'll move 7 or 8 people in, putting working people like myself right out of the market.
For example, my neighbor was 14 people living in this place. So the garbage.
So he's showing a nice enough suburb. Like these are nice houses, right?
Yeah.
He's saying there's 14 people living in there, and I believe it.
I've seen it. You know, I walked around Richmond Hill one night, late at night, and you could see in the windows because they don't have curtains on a lot of the windows, like what this guy's saying. And you could actually, I've seen it. I have actually seen this. I saw some of them that were like trap houses that were completely empty on the inside, except for like folding tables and like weird bins and shit. And then other ones you could actually see the fucking subdivisions. They're just blatant with it. And that's, again, Richmond Hill. Those houses are all easily over $1 million.
It's wild to think of, and the way I would always notice it is just the street is stuffed with cars.
Yeah,
because everyone's got a car. Like,
driveways are full, and then they're all parked along the curb. Yeah, because there's like you got a house like that that's supposed to be somebody's family home, and it's got 9 fucking Indian kids living in it.
Yeah.
And mess, you couldn't believe it. They sleep in the top. One room, you're looking 4 or 5 people sleep in the top. And this one too, this house was for sale. They couldn't sell it because there's like 10, 15 people living in the basement.
We also heard
that sounds like a nightmare to me. By that sounds like The Road or something. You go down the basement, and you see 15 Indians living down there.
Yep.
People say that immigration has changed Canada's foreign policy, including by making it more pro-Palestine and less pro-Israel.
The values.
Yes. Yeah, he's boomer con here.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if they're just saying that out of convenience. You know, if you want to go so deep in the mass migration issue, like, and by the way,
the Palestine-Israel thing is just moot. It does not matter because it doesn't affect Canadians at all. We don't like Palestinians. We don't like Israelis. We wish they would all leave. But the fact that it's shifting from one side to the other, why even bring that up? Who fucking cares? Like, we've also become more anti-Indian and because of the fucking Sikhs, because the Sikhs hate the Indians. Like, I don't care about any of this. I want them all to go back.
We can't let in these new Indians. They hate the Sikhs. Who
They hate the old Indians. Yeah, we can't have the Pakistanis. We can't have the Pakistanis. They don't get along with the Indians. How about they all go?
We call that the old false dichotomy. Okay, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover with that. We don't need to keep going. We actually covered everything I wanted to cover for this episode. I hope people had a good time.
I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Excellent.
I could watch Robotheism trash all day.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I think we solved a lot of problems. I think we solved the China problem
for sure.
Which, of course, to remind people, the solution, a lot of the solutions in this were just let China win and make friends with billionaires.
Yes.
And if you don't do either of those things, like us, then you are doomed. But
you'll be right and poor.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, same. I'll die right.
Yeah, I'll die right and poor. I'd rather do that.
Yep.
All right. So any last minute comments? No, I think we got everything I wanted to do. Volkswagen down with the sickness.
There we go.
Did we ever say that before?
I think that's a fresh one.
That's a good one. There it is.
Yeah.
They're all going home over here. All right. So anyway, thank you everyone for taking the time to watch the stream.